Legal heat is mounting up on singer Sonu Nigam after he was booked over a controversy following his remark during his recent Bengaluru concert. A few young fans had bombarded Sonu Nigam with repeated requests to sing in Kannada. The singer, while perceiving the request as rude, responded sharply saying that this is why Pahalgam happened. The Bengaluru police has summoned Sonu Nigam for questioning, asking him to appear before the investigating officer within a week. The Karnataka Film Chamber of Commerce also issued a statement deciding to boycott the singer for his comments. Pro-Kannada groups are up in arms. They held a protest at Freedom Park in Bengaluru, demanding a statewide ban on the playback singer, even seeking his arrest.
Pro-Kannada groups are holding a protest in Bengaluru's Freedom Park today, demanding the arrest of Sonu Nigam and also an entire statewide ban as far as Sonu Nigam is concerned. Remember, recently a controversy erupted when in the East Point College, when there was a concert of Sonu Nigam, and a fan among the crowd has in fact insisted Sonu Nigam to sing a Kannada song, after which he in fact compared this thing to Pahalgam issue, and after which an FIR was filed by the Kannada groups, and right now, as you see, a protest being held at Freedom Park demanding a statewide ban and also his arrest.
Sonu Nigam, meanwhile, put out his statement on the controversy. In this long note, he claimed that he's not a young lad to take humiliation from anyone. Standing by his decision to school the students who had asked him to sing Kannada songs, Sonu said that he'll cooperate with the Karnataka police in the ongoing investigation. He said that his comments were meant for a few individuals and not the entire community. All right, there's a fresh post now coming in from Sonu Nigam. He has put out in this Instagram account post an apology for what had happened. The post reads, "Sorry Karnataka, my love for you is bigger than my ego. Love you always." So that's the clarification coming in from Sonu Nigam. Let's go across to Neha, who's joining us for more on this. Neha, Sonu Nigam finally apologizing, faced with a police case.
Well, Madhav, that's right. Of course, we saw pressure mounting on him here in the form of protest there by the pro-Kannada organizations, a notice being issued to him by the Bengaluru police as well. All of this, of course, they're seeking an apology. In fact, even the Film Association over here, as well as the Musicians Association in Karnataka, that vowed that they would not allow him to come back to perform, only said that, it was merely because he didn't really put out a heartfelt apology. Now, of course, we're seeing that apology, they're coming in.
All right. Thanks so much for the quick update there, Neha. What does this mean for the case? All of that we'll be debating in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Sushil Pandit continues with us from debate number 1, but joining us at the moment is Avantika Shetty, actress. We have Sajid Gowda, Kannada activist, joining us. Also with us is Pratap Kanagal, Kannada activist. Let me start with you first, Avantika Shetty. Many would say that given the fact that Sonu Nigam has now apologized, perhaps that's an admission of guilt and his role as far as the comment that he made, perhaps he went a little overboard. Your response, Avantika.
Yeah, I believe that, see, coming from a place of being a Kannadiga myself, I am a Kannada film actress, and I also belong to Karnataka. So I very much know that, Kannadigas are very, very emotional when it comes to their language. They're very sentimental about it. So their love for their language is beyond, words. So considering this particular incident, Sonu Nigam obviously has done ample number of Kannada songs, and when he's come for a concert in Bengaluru, it is certain that he would have prepared himself with a certain number of Kannada songs and he would sing them. But interrupting an artist in the middle of the show, I think that is something that triggered him at that point in time, and I believe that he must have been wanting to say that, let's not divide ourselves with language, religion and things like that. But he went a little overboard by using the Pahalgam incident, because the Pahalgam incident is something which is very fresh and very, very sensitive topic to be discussed. And using that topic in this context was
perhaps not right. But yes, let me read out what he said in his earlier post, and let me bring in our panelists one by one. Sajid Gowda, question that many will ask is this. This is the statement that he put out. He said, "I'm not a young lad to take humiliation from anyone. I'm 51 years old. In the second half of my life, I'm entitled to take offense for someone as young as my son threatening me directly in front of thousands in the name of language, that too Kannada, which is my second language when it comes to my work, that too right after my first song of the concert. He provoked a few more. Their own people were embarrassed and asked them to shut up. I told them very politely and lovingly, the show has started, it's my first song, that I will not let them down, but they have to let me continue with the concert the way I have planned it. What do you see wrong in this statement, Sajid Gowda?
There is no wrong, first of all, thank you, Madhav. And there is nothing wrong in the statement that he has put out. The problem is his comparison of this request by the fans to Kashmir terrorist attack. So there is one more problem here. Avantika was mentioning about this, where people think that asking for language rights, asking for somebody to sing in a particular language, especially Kannada in Karnataka, is by default language. This is the land of Kannada, and people expect everyone naturally to talk, sing. So
no, but Sajid, he's saying that. He's saying that this is my second language. I sing maximum number of songs in Kannada. And once again, and what he is saying is that the boy spoke very rudely to him. You know, it's one thing to make a polite request to an artist. And Sonu Nigam is a fairly respected and well-known artist. When somebody speaks rudely to anyone senior, whether an artist, whether a politician, they don't have to take that lying down.
So that doesn't mean that he has to compare this to a terrorist attack. So that's the first point. Second, I see no reason why somebody is seeing this as an divisive thing. I mean, how is asking for Kannada a bad thing in Karnataka? It's a natural thing, right? Why is he thinking that this is a divisive thing? We shouldn't be divided by languages, religions, and what is it? Did Kannada activists create Kannada in Karnataka? It is there from thousands of years. Okay. So this people shouldn't see this as a divisive thing. This is a diverse nation. People should understand that each and everyone has different identities. I am a Kannadiga.
Fair point. Let me bring in Sushil Pandit on that. Sushil Pandit, by drawing a parallel with the Pahalgam terror attack, these are issues of language. Clearly did Sonu Nigam cross the line? And also at the time when we as a country are trying to deal with what has happened in Pahalgam, somewhere has the issue of national security been trivialized when you use it in such a context? Sushil Pandit.
Thank you, Madhav. I feel that when you provoke a person just at the beginning of a concert, and that too insisting on Kannada when he has barely begun with his first song, the point is it could have been misconstrued by him as not just asking for Kannada, but asking him to stop Hindi songs. You see, there is a difference between the two. If you have had too many Hindi songs and you are now saying, okay, switch to Kannada, one can still understand. If he has just begun with his first song and you say, no, Kannada, 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 what you are saying is not just asking or insisting on Kannada in Karnataka, which is very normal, very natural, and I identify with it. I love the language. But it is somewhere misconstrued as opposition to a national language. Perhaps mistakenly, but that is what it must have been. I'm only surmising. So therefore, now if he has apologized, any entertainer who lives on public adulation as an oxygen to his career will never like to alienate his constituency. And even if he is wrongly implicated, he would apologize and step aside. That is how Sonu has probably decided to deal with it. But I feel the larger point should not be missed. We as a nation should stand united, not get mired in regionalism or linguistic chauvinism, or for that matter, any other narrow divisions that enemies exploit. His reference to Pahalgam is also probably steeped in this fact that today is the time when we should not insist on our linguistic, regional, or any other division. We should stay united. Otherwise, enemy will exploit. That is probably the spirit behind it. Let's not get into nitpicking on this issue now that he's also apologized so graciously.
All right. Pratap, I want you to come in on this because, end of the day, when such big artists or any artist, prepares for a concert, it's not easy. I mean, they have to decide which song, which order, etc., etc. These are not some things that, there are artists who can perhaps perform at the spur of the moment, etc., but there is a plan to which they actually come in for. So obviously, when someone right at the beginning of the concert, as Sushil Pandit is saying, the very first song starts hammering them, saying that don't do this, do this. It's not about Kannada, no Kannada, but that can disturb an artist. One has to respect that.
Madhav, let me put it this way. See, is there any bigger insult or humiliation more than calling you by your own people as, are calling you or comparing to a terrorist? There will be a bigger humiliation or insult? Will you accept that? And
we've said that's wrong. We've said that he's perhaps gone
Sonu
overboard.
Nigam is not the new singer or is not a... Yeah, wait. Sonu Nigam is not a newbie or is a very junior artist or someone. He has been doing the concerts over the years and it's not new. He might be like every month he might be doing 10 to 15 concerts, okay? But is it the first time he got any requests? Every concert we go, I have attended many concerts, everywhere there will be a demand, everywhere people will be shouting for some song. That doesn't, okay, if he might have got angry, okay, we agree. Does that mean who gave him the right to compare the demand for Kannada song to that horrific terror attack?
Yes, he has apologized for it. Why don't you take the apology?
And no apology when? After banning, right? Today he has apologized. Otherwise, last 2 days he has been justifying his statement. He's giving, first he said 1 boy, then he said 5 boys. He's just giving the justification. He's trying to teach us the patriotism. Was we Kannadigas doesn't need any lesson from anybody about that patriotism. Karnataka is the land which gave one of the field marshal to the India.
Okay.
And
Avantika, come in on this. The point being made by Pratap is that he has apologized under immense pressure because he sought to justify the action for the past 2 days. It's now when he's under tremendous media pressure and pressure otherwise, as well as the police cases, etc., that he has now decided to put out a public apology. Why did he wait so long?
So, Madhav, can
Avantika, please. Avantika, Sajid, coming to you. Let Avantika speak.
Sure.
Yeah.
See, at the end of the day, we're all humans. Sometimes we do take time to realize our mistakes. At that point in time, like he said that, he's almost 51, a young lad, was hyper and he was demanding and he didn't want to, come to terms with the fact that, he's giving into that demand. So at that point in time, he was coming from there and that's why he was justifying his action. But I believe he must have, thought about it and maybe he realized his mistake now because, like I said, somebody of that stature, years of experience wouldn't say something just, randomly. If he said it in the heat of the moment, a wrong example came out of his mouth. And maybe he realized it. I mean, we can give it to him for that. Yeah.
Pratap wants to respond to you on that. Pratap, quickly. Quick response, please.
We are all humans. We tend to make mistakes.
Quick response, Pratap.
Yeah, it's not that I don't agree that he has just told it randomly because we have seen these kind of messages in the social media and WhatsApp forwards. Some third-rated trolls had put that thing and blamed Kannadigas. Pointed Kannadigas saying that because you guys are fighting for language and they are attacking, that's why terror attacks are happened. So he just got influenced by that and he just told it, just like in third-rated trolls.
Okay. There are actually people on social media.
That's not what we expect from.
I got your point. Sushil Pandit, there are actually those on social media who are making it parochial, who are attacking Kannadigas on the basis of their regional identity, on the basis of what Sonu Nigam has said, and that is where it is inciting passions. I want Sushil Pandit to come in on this, please. Sushil Pandit.
I will only say one phrase in Kannada, Sakappa Saku. Enough is enough. Please do not stretch it to mean things that he never even imagined to say. It is spur of the moment response to a provocation when he is in full flow trying to put together a good concert. And if he feels today that he was a little excessive, he has apologized. So you have to be gracious. His entire track record speaks for him.
Yeah.
He has sung so many songs in Kannada. He says Kannada is my second language. And you want to throw him under the bus.
Sajid Gowda. Let Sajid respond. Sajid, end of the day, he has apologized. Do you still think that the police cases, etc., should continue?
So that's a different question which I'll come to. But one, because he apologized or he said Kannada is my second language, he has not done any favor to us. or to Kannadigas. Let's be very clear about it. He has done his job. He's a singer. He will sing in many languages. So in Kannada, we are also fan of Sonu Nigam. We have so many songs in our playlist in our playlists which are sung by Sonu Nigam, and all of that is. But this mentality that asking Kannada in Karnataka is a divisive thing. This is a parochial, chauvinistic.
No, but we've established the situation. It's about losing your cool at the heat of the moment, isn't it, Sajid?
This is not heat of the moment. This is an anti-national, parochial, chauvinistic.
Avantika, is this an anti-national, parochial mindset
that these people possess, and they need to stop this?
Okay, got your point. Avantika, quick response.
I don't think so, sir. I believe he must have taken this much time because at that point in time he would not have imagined that he would hurt the sentiments of the people of Karnataka, because he not everybody knows that Kannadigas actually take so much pride in their language. They're very, very emotional about it. Not everybody knows that. He must have not realized that this thing would reach this level.
All right, Sonu Nigam has apologized as far as those comments are concerned. Perhaps the debate should end there. Will it end there? What happens to those cases? Very many open questions yet. Sushil Pandit, Avantika Shetty, Sajid Gowda, Pratap Kanagal, thank you so much for joining us this evening.